This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today marks the start of oyster season, and the town of Bluff eagerly awaits the return of the season's first oyster boats. Hundreds of people line the streets of Wanaka to celebrate the return of Winter Olympic medalists to their hometown. And 2 people have a lucky escape when their helicopter crashes at Wanaka Airport. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The annual Bluff oyster season kicks off this evening with boats scheduled to return this evening. Last year the season was seriously compromised by the Bonemia ostrae outbreak. The South Today went to test the southern waters.
Last year, Stewart Island farmers had to pull up oysters following an outbreak of Bonemia ostrae. Bluff's boats are due to return this evening, and Bluff Oyster Management Company manager Graham Wright is hopeful of a good season this year, and he believes they were lucky last year.
Okay, so the Bonemia you're probably referring to is what was known as Bonemia ostrae, which has affected the farms in Marlborough and in Stewart Island. So the Ministry will be doing a lot of monitoring, and as we speak now, it hasn't been detected in Foveaux Strait yet into the wild fisheries, so we've dodged a bit of a bullet, I guess, at this stage, so fingers crossed that maintains, yeah.
Wright says the boats are off on their first voyage of the 2018 season, and he says he's spoken with some of those out on the water.
Yeah, I've talked to the fishermen, yep, there's a few first day blues or whatever, there's a few things just, with gear, boats and things or whatever, but no, other than that, it's just, it's going to be a reasonably tough season. We know that the fisheries had some issues in recent years with recruitment and bits and pieces.
He's hoping for a similar, if not better, oyster season than last year.
So the industry, we through the sustainability work and science that we do through the ministry, we're actually legally allowed to harvest 15 million, but as a conservative approach, the industry at this stage will be looking at harvesting 10 million, same as we did last year. With
the Bluff oyster boats due back this evening, Wright expects the southern seafood delicacy to be available tomorrow. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Security Intelligence Service documents confirm a Dunedin teenager tried to assassinate the Queen in 1981. A memo just released confirms a 17-year-old Christopher Lewis at the time did intend to kill the Queen by shooting at her in Dunedin. It has been alleged police originally made efforts to cover the story up. The SIS memo says the would-be assassin did not have a suitable vantage point from which to fire, nor a sufficiently high-powered rifle. Wanaka's Winter Olympic medalists Zoe Sadarsky-Sinnott and Nico Porteous got their very own welcome home parade this afternoon. Hundreds of people line the streets of the town to cheer on the 2 16-year-olds.
For the first time in 26 years, New Zealand has a Winter Olympic medal to celebrate. And this time, not 1, but 2. Zoe Sadarsky-Sinnott and Nico Porteous brought their bronze medals home to Wanaka this afternoon, and the crowds turned out to see them.
That was insane. I did not expect this many people, like that is incredible. The amount of support we've received over the past 2 weeks has been, it's out of this world, and especially to see all these people in hometown, me and Zoe, it's just incredible, yeah.
The 2 16-year-olds have been at the centre of a whirlwind of public attention since winning their half-pipe and big air bronze medals in South Korea a week ago, and particularly since landing back in New Zealand 2 days ago. Sadarsky-Sinnott is off to Colorado in the next few days for the United States Open, while Porteous will have friends, family and schoolwork to catch up with. Mark Price, The South Today.
One person has died following a crash on the Te Anau Milford Highway in Southland. Police were called to this single vehicle crash on State Highway 94, where a car hit a tree at just before 1 a.m. Police say the sole occupant of the vehicle died at the scene. One lane of the road was open and delays were expected in the area this morning while the scene was being cleared. The serious crash unit is investigating. 2 people had a lucky escape when a helicopter crashed at Wanaka Airport today. The South Today found out more.
Just before midday today, a chopper hit the ground at Wanaka Airport's helicopter training area. The 2 people on board walked away uninjured. Police thought that the aircraft was on a training flight with a local helicopter company.
Luckily there were no injuries to the 2 people that were on board the helicopter, so very fortunate given the circumstances.
Early indications were that the crash was caused by a mechanical failure rather than pilot error, and the Civil Aviation Authority have been notified.
We're looking into the causation of that crash, and it's early days yet, so we've notified the CAA and they'll no doubt head that investigation with our assistance.
The accident occurred away from the main runway and did not affect airport operations. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, we look at what's in store for the upcoming Southland 150th Agricultural and Pastoral Show, and we catch up with the recipient of a new Port Chalmers Community Award.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
The Terminus Apartments, where heritage meets modern sophistication and where the past is Dunedin's future. These 1 or 2 bedroom apartments are fitted with modern amenities, room to move and spectacular harbour and city views. Contact us now to have your piece of luxury.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Free heart transmission. Please open your heart.
She is flowing freely. She is nourishing. She is loving.
Call Sunny Chin for peace in your heart.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Calling all Otago superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz. At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Welcome back. Southland's 150th Agricultural and Pastoral Show begins on Saturday. Sharon Rees headed to Invercargill's Donovan Park to see what the show has in store.
The marquees went up today and there were plenty of hands on deck preparing Invercargill's Donovan Park for the 150th Southland A&P show. A&P executive Mike Smith says the show has come a long way since the early days, and for such a milestone event, The ANP Association has adapted the show to the times.
Things change, and we're trying to change with things to keep people entertained and to show them something of interest, and also to educate them as well, to appreciate what does go on in the farming scene and in the country, and where their food comes from.
One of the biggest changes to this year's schedule was the cancellation of the beef and dairy sections due to the outbreak of the cattle disease Mycoplasma bovis. But Smith says the dairy sector won't go forgotten on Saturday.
In the absence of dairy cattle, we're having a dairy expo. And that'll be something that a lot of town people will have never seen butter made and where milk comes from, and so that'll be good.
He said one of the biggest draw cards to the event is having comedy music duo The Top Twins performing on the day. He said the pair suit the atmosphere perfectly.
They'll really make a show because they enter into it in the spirit of the Top Twins and the spirit of a country AMP show. What it is, it's bringing the country to the town, really, or bringing the town into the country.
The Southern ANP show opens at 8 a.m. on Saturday, with the first event at 8:30. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
A retired vet in Port Chalmers has been named the winner of a new community award that was launched at Port Chalmers yesterday. The South Today went to find out who the worthy recipient was.
The launch of the West Harbour Community Awards in Port Chalmers yesterday had Dunedin City Councillor Aaron Hawkins handing out accolades to those who had worked hard as volunteers to make the western part of Otago Harbour a better place.
Annual West Harbour Community Award Community Champion for 2018 is Terry Marler.
Overall winner was Terry Marler, who has worked as a volunteer vet in Port Chalmers for a long time. Marler was keen to point out that he was part of a larger team.
But of course this award is wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. Because it shouldn't be just Terry Marler, it should be Robert Buchanan and a whole team of other people who help and who do a wonderful job of I'm sorry, you everyone who's here. They clean up dog shit. they assemble everything, they keep in charge of the animals. I just go along and I can still remember which end to put the needle in, I think. I go mostly.
The Thursday night vet clinics are held at the Pioneer Hall in Port Chalmers, and Marler only charges for the medication used, so that, in the spirit of St Francis of Assisi, struggling pet owners can afford to keep their pets in good health. The very popular clinic limits itself to simple checkups and immunisations.
It's an opportunity for me to continue being a vet, and I've learned to say, oh no, I don't think I can do that, you better go to the vet in town. So it's been good for me in all kinds of ways.
Terry Marler looks set to keep helping the West Harbour community and its animals for many years to come. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
4 chicks from the world's rarest kiwi species, the Haast kiwi, are being treated at the new Dunedin Wildlife Hospital. Roselle Labone has more.
Only 400 Haast kiwis are believed to still remain alive, and 4 of them are now in the Dunedin Wildlife Hospital being nursed back to health.
They have to go into intensive care. They need to be, these ones we brought today need to be force-fed on a daily basis. The Haast tokawekas, they are notoriously high-strung, kind of high-maintenance kiwis. For some particular reason, they are difficult to catch. They get more and more difficult to catch because they run. Most other kiwis just don't run as much. They just sort of sit down. But Haasties, there's something about them. They're the alpine kiwi and the ginger, and I don't know, between the two.
The 4 chicks make up 1% of the world's Haast kiwi population and are being cared for at the hospital after contracting a bacterial infection. The recent establishment of the Wildlife Hospital means the chicks spent 20 minutes travelling for treatment from Orokonui Eco Sanctuary rather than the other option of a much longer trip to Massey University's Wild Base Hospital in Palmerston North.
Anytime you handle them and box them and move them, it's more and more stress. So we caught one of these birds only an hour ago or so, 20 minutes drive, we're here.
The birds are the first kiwi nursed at the Wildlife Hospital since it opened its doors in January. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, the Invercargill Plunkett Rooms launches a new community garden, and There She Blows, environmental protesters lend a helping hand to get an inflatable whale off the ground.
Wait for seed to germinate. Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Oh, I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect.
So we won't fall.
Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey, whoa.
You fell for it.
Yep, I fell for it.
Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust.
I'm cotton soft on the environment too.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Octagon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikorai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products like awnings and umbrellas, and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Hammer! We'll see if it really was a fluke.
Stand up and be counted with your boots on the ground. March for the cause with banners be loud. Lost generations will never be bound till the numbers rise up to your martyrs proud.
Kate, you think this is a joke, mate? This is my company, and you are never, ever taking it away from me.
JK Moody, fight for gold. There'll be nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. I'm gonna hurt you.
Fight for gold.
this Saturday, March 3rd. Tickets available now from eventfinder.co.nz.
Thanks for staying with us. The Invercargill Plunket Rooms launched a community garden today with an official garland cutting ceremony. Sharon Rees was there.
Using a pair of secateurs, organiser Kathy Jordan and Invercargill City Councillor Darren Ludlow cut the vegetable garland and declared the Plunket Rooms community garden officially open. Jordan, who has been the main driver behind the project, says the garden will be a great way to bring families together.
This is an opportunity for families to drive this, and I guess as when you're going somewhere with young children, sometimes you can be a bit conscious around, are they making too much noise or are they pulling out everything and upsetting people? So this is an environment where that's what we're here for.
The garden will be cared for by families using the Plunket Rooms and will encourage parents and children to grow their own food. Jordan says the garden also provides a space for kids to be kids.
They just love getting outside, so that's a big part of it for me, is that it's fun, it's outside, it's active, and this is an environment where they can do that without me feeling too precious around them throwing stones in the garden or mucking things up.
During the opening speeches, the children were far more worried about trying out some of the fresh produce from the garden.
At the opening today we'd had a little wreath of vegetables, and I don't think I've ever seen my daughter eat so many vegetables. Yeah.
A mural in the garden emphasises the importance of healthy living. But with children as enthusiastic about fruit and veggies as this, it seems unlikely parents have much to worry about. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
A 17-metre inflatable whale appeared on the museum reserve lawn in Dunedin yesterday as part of an environmental demonstration. Greenpeace and Oil Free Otago are protesting against oil and gas exploration off the Dunedin coast.
Janet the inflatable whale is on a tour around the country to raise awareness about the impact of oil and gas exploration on the climate and the marine environment. Yesterday, Greenpeace and Oil Free Otago helped the whale onto dry land at a Dunedin rally at the Otago Museum Reserve. The groups are concerned about the seismic blasts the surveying ship Amazon Warrior is sending into the seabed across thousands of kilometres of the Taranaki coast in search of oil and gas. The area is a blue whale habitat and the whale's only known feeding ground in New Zealand.
So, as part of our campaign to end new oil exploration all over New Zealand, we're now bringing the blue whale into it as well, because it's incredibly important that we protect their habitat and that we protect the coastline of New Zealand for all Kiwis.
A petition addressed to Dunedin Member of Parliament David Clark was on hand for passers-by to sign. So far, over 400,000 people have signed the petition online. Rosemary Penwarden of Oil Free Otago says Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern needs to back up her climate change promises with action, including an immediate end to all offshore oil exploration.
Dear Jacinda, end oil now, please, do the right thing. This is our nuclear-free moment.
The protest and the whale will be travelling to various locations around New Zealand. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
2 New Zealand golfers made it to the top 10 at the end of today's first round of the New Zealand Golf Open at the Millbrook and Hill Resorts in Arrowtown. Mina Amso reports.
It was a bit of an overcast day at Millbrook and Arrowtown this afternoon, but that didn't slow down New Zealand's Harry Batman to score 7 under par 64 at the end of round 1 of the New Zealand Golf Open in Millbrook Resort, putting him in 3rd position.
I had a pretty tricky shot on the first hole off a big side hill lie, and I hit it to about 5 foot and made the putt as well. Yeah, that was.
Had the greens play today?
Oh, beautiful.
And New Zealand's Gareth Patterson scored a 6 under par 66 to have him come in 5th position.
Really good putting, and made some changes with my coach before I played in the last couple of days, which was really good. So that enabled me to get off the tee properly.
However, it was Australia's Andrew Martin and Andrew Dodd who both finished first on the leaderboard. Dodd finished with 5 birdies and an eagle, 8 under par 64.
Yeah, it was a slow start.
The conditions were really easy, and I was only 1 under through 13 holes, so I was starting to get a little anxious, thinking I need to start making the putt soon, and got a little hot from the 14th.
Dodd says relaxing a bit more helped him get to the top position.
You should be making birdies, and when you're not, you try to force it a little bit. So I just tried to relax, and maybe a little less was more. Try and let it come to me rather than go and chase it.
Defending champion Michael Hendry ended up in the 31st spot, while Ryan Fox finished in the top 60. Mina Amso, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The annual Bluff oyster season kicks off this evening with boats scheduled to return, and they're hoping that it's not a sign of Bulimia Austrae. Wanaka's Winter Olympic medalists Zoe Sadowski-Synnott and Nico Porteous got their very own welcome home parade this afternoon. And 2 people had a lucky escape when a small helicopter crashed at Wanaka Airport today. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Paul Gorman. What have you got for us in tomorrow's newspaper?
Got a story about the state of State Highway 88 to Port Chalmers. It's a 12k stretch of road, always full of potholes, safety concerns. Port Otago's now said that they're worried about the state of it, and the Transport Agency has just said it's part of it being a busy road. But yeah, it's quite interesting, there's sort of various things they could do to it. There's a cycleway there that hasn't been finished yet, so people are sort of voicing, concerns about that road.
Well, in saying that, quite a few of our roads aren't in a great state, right round.
And that's a very busy bit of road, with all the trucks and then all the cruise ship passengers as well, and buses recently, so yeah, it's quite dangerous along there, I think. Yeah. So good story about that. Arrowtown's New Orleans hotel has been found selling alcohol to underage people, and it will have to close for 10 days as its punishment. So the licence has already been suspended 3 times before, apparently. So that's quite a punitive action, 10 days without business.
I was going to say 10 days is actually a long time, and they might have trouble renewing their licence after that.
Yeah. And I just thought I would mention the Sports Tabloid tomorrow. Our reporter David Lochray at the Golf Open, and he's in bunkers making sandcastles apparently, so we look forward to that tomorrow.
Wonderful, thank you, Paul. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MoleMap.
Looking at the situation, another day of northerly airflow over the South Island tomorrow as mild, humid weather continues a little longer. A change is on the way though, with some rain and cooler southwesterly airflow next week. Looking at the south, Balclutha, Catlins, Lumsden and Gore, you can expect moderate northerly, some high cloud and a high of 22. Moving on to see what's in store for central. Queenstown and Wanaka are in for moderate northerlies with a risk of rain and a high of 19. 20 in Alexandra with moderate northerlies and cloudy skies. Te Anau just marginally cooler with a high of 18, cloudy skies and moderate northeasterlies. Up to the northern settlements, Oamaru and Timaru can look forward to moderate northeasterlies, cloudy skies and a high of 20. Slightly wetter inland, where Marama and Twizel should watch out for a risk of rain and moderate northerlies. In Dunedin tonight, it will be cloudy with some showers and a low of 16. Morning rain clearing tomorrow, then sunny periods for a time, but cloud increasing during the evening. Moderate northeasterlies, still mild and humid, 20 and 16. Mostly dry and cloudy on Saturday with humid easterly winds, some rain developing at night, 19 and 15. And in Invercargill, it will be cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 13. Cloudy tomorrow with a few light showers at times, warm with light northerly winds, 24 and 14. Cloud breaking and a few sunny periods developing on Saturday with mild and humid northerly winds, 19 and 14. And that's our news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the Southern region, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz. Take care, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear. supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.